The T-Rex did indeed have a big head and tiny arms, but that was on purpose. Yup, no mistakes made here. But I mean, I do agree, it's not the best body plan. But we have to work with what we have, yeah? Anyways, its large head made its jaws very powerful, meaning they could bite through a lot of things. Scary, right? The tiny arms were probably because its arms served no real purpose. However, it had a pretty big tail. This was so that it could balance itself when it stomped around in jungles. We're not quite sure if the T-Rex could wag its tail when it was happy like a dog, but there's more area for us to explore, and that's something you guys can find out for sure. It would be really cute though. Now we have a picture of a dinosaur skeleton. It has bones that are different. It has bones that are different shapes and sizes, but some of them look more familiar than others. Like for instance, we've seen a skull before. That's where your brain lives. The skull of a T-Rex is pretty big, but mostly has space for its really big eyes. It also has ribs and a backbone, and it has a tibia, which humans also have. What I think is most interesting is that it has special backbone bones in its tail. That means whenever the tail moves, it's on purpose, and it's not just flopping around in the wind. Now, here we have a statue of a human man. It's made by a sculptor in the Renaissance named Michelangelo. The statue's name is David, from David and Goliath. Now, there's a whole lot of history here, but I will save that for another time. David has all the parts that most humans have. For instance, he has hands, one that is holding a ball of some sort, and 2 feet. He has eyes, nose, and ears on his face. What else do you know David has? Let's look at a skeleton. That's right, a version of what you are seeing right now is actually inside of you. Isn't that neat? You have a skull that houses your brain, your big, beautiful brain that lets you think, feel, imagine, plan, and do all sorts of stuff. Then you have something called a mandible, which is a really fancy name for your jaw. This lets you eat all the yummy things you like. You also have bones inside your hands. These help you hold your pencil, snap your fingers, poke funny things, and tickle your friends. The patella is a funny name for your knee bone. If you poke your knee and feel something hard and round, you've found it. It's your patella. Now let's watch a video that really explores the skeleton.
Systems of the human body.
Skeletal system. Bones. The skeletal system is made up of bones, joints, and cartilage. Bones are hard and they support our whole body. If we didn't have bones, our body would be like jelly or a jellyfish. Joints connect our bones and allow movement in our skeleton. Cartilage is softer and more elastic than bones, and you can find it in your nose and ears. The muscular system and skeletal system make our locomotor system. We have more than 200 bones, like our skull, spinal cord, humerus, ribs, and femur bones. Other bones that we have are jawbone, vertebrae, clavicle, shoulder blade, ulna, radius, sternum, pelvis, tibia, fibula.
Wow, we've learned a lot about dinosaurs and humans. Let's do a quick compare and contrast. Dinosaurs, they have tails, claws, and scaly skin, while humans have nails, thumbs, and hair. But they both have jaws, teeth, skulls, spines, ribs, and pelvises. We've learned a lot today, but it's more fun when we do something more interactive. So let's visit the Smithsonian. Welcome to the Smithsonian's National Museum of Natural History. Here we are going to begin today's adventure. As you can see, we see an elephant right as we enter the museum. It's right next to the information desk. We are on the first floor, so today we're going to look at the dinosaur section, which is going to be on our right. Let's head in. This area is known as the Journey Through Deep Time. Travel back to the origins of life on Earth. Explore how life evolved as the world changed. You can see that there's going to be a lot of cool fossils here. As we enter, right next to us you can see a picture of an old sloth. And this is where we came from. And here we have a lot more to explore. So let's begin. Welcome to the Not So Distant Past section. In the beginning, we're going to see something called a Calidothere mammal. This is one of the older mammals that they were able to find. That was pretty recent. If we continue down the path, we can start seeing some mammals that were in the sea. See here, these are some seals. And right on the other side, they show a series of fossils. This section is called the cost and benefits of living large. What they're trying to say is that it wasn't that easy being a large animal. It meant that you had to consume a lot more energy and a lot more food to take care of yourself compared to a smaller animal. But we are here to learn about dinosaurs today, so let's head towards them. Here, we see dinosaurs that take to the sky. These are some of the oldest birds that I know of. And here, where my mouse is pointing to, is one of the oldest known bird-like dinosaurs, Archaeopteryx. We talked about it earlier, but here's a fossil. If we go this direction, we start seeing some of the older animals or dinosaur-like creatures that lived in the ocean. And if we go in the other direction, we can see some of the ones that lived on land. Let's go towards the Jurassic dinosaur plants and insects first. Wow, look at some of these huge skeletons. These were walking giants and walking flying creatures of the past. Whoa, there's something right above us. That's right, it's a dinosaur tail. These dinosaurs look like Brachiosauruses. These were, I guess, what we call the gentle giants of the past. They would eat a lot of vegetation, like leaves off of trees and grass on the ground. Here, underneath this dinosaur's tail, is a pterodactyl. It was a flying dinosaur. That meant it would soar above in the skies and catch fish to eat. Really cool, huh? And here we have it, the king of the carnivores. That's right. This is the skeleton of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, or a T-Rex. They even show it in action here. You can see that it's trying to eat the skeleton of what remains of a Triceratops. Triceratops were cool because they had horns on their head. Tri meaning three, and ceratops meaning, well, I don't really know what ceratops means, but Triceratops had 3 horns on their head, 2 right above their eyes and 1 above their nose. The T-Rex, however, wasn't alone in the carnivore family. We also had smaller carnivores that lived in the same era. These include things like velociraptors and the dinosaur version of what we know as an alligator. Okay, let's head back to the brachiosauruses to see what could be on the other side. Now we're in the area of mass extinction. This is what occurred basically at the end of the age of dinosaurs. There's a lot that really happened, so I'm not going to go into it this time. Stay tuned for another episode when we talk about mass extinction with the dinosaurs. On the other side of mass extinction, we can see this really huge tail. That's right, that is still a part of that same Brachiosaurus. Underneath that, you can see the skeleton of other smaller dinosaurs. That's really there for a comparison to see how big the Brachiosaurus was compared to some of the other species that lived in the same time. Now let's head towards what was happening in the oceans. That's right, the oceans had their versions of dinosaurs too. One of their more famous ones is called a plesiosaur. No, it's not trying to please others, but it was really like a really big platypus seal combination. It had a really long body and sharp teeth and could eat a whole bunch of fish. It could even fight sharks. Now we come to the other side of the exhibit, where they have a skeleton of a stegosaurus. A stegosaurus was kind of interesting in the sense that it had these spikes instead of claws to protect itself. The spikes would line their backbone, and they acted kind of like a shield when other animals tried to come and attack them. They were herbivores, meaning they ate mostly leaves and grass too. These spikes could also be used as weapons if needed, but typically stegosaurs were not too aggressive or the type to pick a fight, so they weren't really used as weapons too often. And now we're back to where we started with the dinosaurs, the Brachiosaurus. I hope you had fun at the museum today. We'll come back and visit more.